why is Matt jumping in front of this bullet that's intended for Kingpin? Like, I would think at that moment, like, let Kingpin get shot, right?
Yeah, a lot of people are asking this question, and I think there's a very, very clear reason why Matt did it, and that reason is he's dumb.
No, is he dumb?
That's not it.
Welcome back to the break room. Hey, I'm just an underdeveloped boy hiding behind a mask, trying to make it look like something more sophisticated. It's the after show. Hit that graphic.
That was a good one. One.
Remember those vocals at the end? Weren't they great? So good. Matt was taken to church, baby.
That's right. We're back today. We're back today.
Carol Ann.
I'm here. We're back today to discuss episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again, Isle of Joy. Not much joy to be found in this episode for our heroes. I'm Brandon Barrick, and joining me today, I once ate the last cinnamon bagel in the office, and to punish me, she put my hand in a deep fryer. It's Jessica Clemons.
The thing was, that was very niche, very specific, and it's because we get bagels in our office, and I'm the only one that eats the cinnamon raisin. No one else does, so when other people touch it, I get a little feist.
Yeah, I've been wiping with the wrong hand ever since. Also joining us today, if he's in your life, he's in our life, and that's not a good thing. It's Erik Voss.
That's true. Stop and Erik it.
Was that a DJ?
Stop and frisk it.
Oh, okay.
So were you a DJ? Was this a turntable?
I will just...
Erik.
Beep, beep, beep. Going to hell.
Oh, no. Oh, he took the elevator to hell.
That's crazy. He immediately got sent to hell and not him.
Oh, no.
He didn't even get a
got
chance.
a bed down there.
Oh, shh. Down there. We're going to get into our thoughts today about this episode, especially why Matt did what he did at the end. And breaking down exactly what we think went on there. Before we get into the episode, of course, we want to remind you to check out nerdriot.shop, where we have our Daredevil-inspired merch, like our Justice and Punishment shirt and our The Monster design, which you can get in a mug or a t-shirt or whatever you like. We've also got other stuff on nerdriot.shop. We got some Lumen-inspired merch from Severance.
Yeah.
Eric's wearing a great Lumen shirt right now. You got a Breakroom hoodie. We got all sorts of stuff. We got mugs. We got all sorts of things.
The mug doesn't come with the stain that I left on it.
No, the stain you got to make yourself.
Actually, I'll send you the stained cup. It's going to be an extra $10.
No. Oh, yeah. We should sell.
Yeah, you could upsell that.
Yeah. Should we sell used mugs on nerdriot.shop?
Just don't clone me because it'll be a disaster.
One Jessica's enough. If you're watching live, send in your questions so we can get to them throughout the show. If you're on Twitch, you can highlight them with some bits or send in a super chat on YouTube. We certainly appreciate the support. Okay, Evan.
And speaking of, lots of people sending in questions and chats already. Thank you, Blake Tay, Sarah Simonova, GPZ Boy, and Emmanuel, all for resubbing on Twitch. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Christina Dunham, Arthur Dennis, and Stan Goodman for sending in some super chats. We're going to get to everyone's questions in a little bit here. Arthur Dennis just want to highlight this one, though, saying, one of the best episodes yet, let your freak flag fly. That's a reference to the yesterday's break room. Don't skip the ad. Watch the ad the whole way through, and you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
I had a little bit of a mental breakdown during the ad. A good mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Good ones know.
Yeah. Yes, please let your freak flags fly. God, so hard to say.
Freak flag.
There's a lot of ways you can go wrong with that.
Yeah. Okay, before we get into our questions and our thoughts, let's do a quick recap of the episode. Wilson Fisk finally reveals to Vanessa that he's had Adam locked up downstairs. I think that's your the 3rd anniversary gift. You present your lover with their side piece.
With their cheat team.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Also, I'm really impressed with Adam's hair and beard growth. I think he's taking Nutrafol because, man, that came in fast. It's a real long beard for the man.
It's father time. There's been a lot. Look, I think after Wilson Fisk punches you that hard, your hair is just growing out. Like, the hair's trying to escape.
Yeah. Get out of the body faster.
Yeah. He just swallowed his teeth in that calcium.
All that keratin's just pouring out of his face.
Pouring out of his face.
Well, when given with the choice of what to do with Adam, Vanessa decides to kill him, proving her loyalty to her husband, who in turn promises to never leave her again. Also, what is she going to do in that moment?
I was also thinking about that. We'll save it, but I was like, What is she gonna do?
We get a lot of F-bombs this episode, and one of them definitely from Adam, pointing out how effed up the situation is. Yes, it is. I didn't know.
It's just fucking crazy.
Just nuts.
And also him just be like, I can't stand looking at his hands anymore. Like,
No.
That being like also the last thing you hear before getting shot in the head, I would cry. I'd be like, what do you mean your hands? What are you talking about?
What are we talking about? What are you talking about? I don't get this weird foreplay
You can take my hands. Take my hands.
Take them off. I don't know. My art's bad. Matt Murdock, on the other hand, in the words of Cherry, looks like a man blowing up his life, rattled by Buck's visit to his apartment. And also, I do love the mental gymnastics here, or the turmoil that presented by just the invitation, where Heather's invited and guest, but the invitation is sent directly to Matt's apartment. It's great. I think Wilson really thought about that. He's like, I really want to mess with him. I'm not going to put his name on the invitation.
Wait till she's sleeping over at his place. Not when she's at home or at her office, when I'll see her later today. Or I could just hand it to her. Buck, drop everything, and just wait till they're waking up. You'll smell the coffee from their curing machine, and then go up there and knock on the door.
Does Buck know that Matt is Daredevil? Do you think Kingpin has told Buck?
I don't think so. I think, damn, that's a good question.
Buck's trusted with a lot. I think you might tell him.
Does he know?
Does he know? Because it's important. Because if Buck is constant, or if Kingpin's constantly worried that like Matt's gonna become Daredevil again, now that he knows that Daredevil's back on the streets, do you think he gave Buck a heads up? Like, just by the way, that blind guy is Daredevil.
See, I don't think so, because, and we'll talk about this on why Matt jumped in front of the bullet, admitting to Buck that this lawyer, Matt Murdock, is the Daredevil vigilante is kind of a bit of a weakness. That's like a break the glass thing. That's like, okay, scorched earth, no return from here. Yeah. To admit to your underlings that like this, you've had this deal with this lawyer, and this lawyer got you busted at the end of season 3 and had this over Vanessa for so long. That's kind of like the mayor saying like, this lawyer got the best of me a few times over the years.
In the episode 1, when like Matt approaches Wilson outside the diner, right? Buck is very quick to be like, "Whoa, buddy, what do you think you're doing here?" Yeah. I think he knows the Matt Wilson kind of battle going on, but not the like Daredevil Kingpin part of it.
And it means that like Kingpin, despite making all these public pledges against vigilantes, has known the whole time is there in plain sight and didn't act on it. So that's kind of embarrassing for him to admit.
Yeah, okay. Evan, I'll stop going off script. Don't worry. Let's get through this.
There's a script?
There's a script? What?
You guys got a script?
So Matt's blowing up his life. He's mad at his clients, calling them out in the office, beating up Bullseye while he's like handcuffed. The best time to beat him up, I think. Matt grumpily joins Heather at the black and white ball, bringing together all of our characters, including Evan's favorite, the swordsman. Jacques Duquesne is there.
Evan said, rise up.
I love him so much that I keep calling him Tim Duquesne. I totally forgot his name.
Oh, you're mixing Tim Dalton?
Yes.
Or,
yeah, the actor.
Tim Kane.
Remember,
no one remembers his name.
We remembered Tim.
People in Virginia don't.
Anyways, hey,
another timeline.
We love the swordsman.
Somewhere
we love
there's
the
a great timeline we're all living in, folks. A lot happens at this ball. It's crazy. We got Commissioner Gallo realizing he's never had control of the anti-vigilating task force. The reveal of BB Erik playing the mayor's office. And of course, Jack Duquesne's identity as the swordsman being threatened. But the biggest thing, Bullseye's on the loose, baby. Dex is out there spitting teeth and shooting mayors. As Matt deduces that Vanessa was the one who sent Bullseye after Foggy, and Kingpin gets dangerously close to revealing Matt's identity to Heather, though she's got to know already, right? Come on. She's not stupid. Bullseye lines up a shot, and through some miracle of super hearing, Matt takes the shot intended for Kingpin. Crazy stuff. We get some great music to close out the episode, a remixed version of Storm Clouds Rising, Let's Go Home. Okay, so many questions this episode, but let's get into that last scene first, right? Why is Matt jumping in front of this bullet that's intended for Kingpin? Like, I would think at that moment, like, let Kingpin get shot, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, a lot of people were asking this question, and I think there's a very, very clear reason why Matt did it, and that reason is he's dumb.
No, is he dumb?
That's not it. Look, I think there's the how and the why. Like, how does Matt know where that bullet is going? Mm-hmm. And I think we just have to let go of this. That Matt not only has super hearing, he just has super spatial awareness in terms of everything. Like, he has better vision than any normal 2020 vision that people might have. He could just like sense everything that's happening in the world around him. He can sense what is in the mind and the intention of people within milliseconds of them doing it. We just have to let go of that. The why, there's like, there's what Dex told Matt earlier, that line of like, what a good person does is defend their greatest enemies.
Right.
I don't understand why Matt would agree with Dex in this moment. Is he like showing Dex like, haha, I'm onto you? I think there's also just the matter of, it kind of forces Wilson Fisk to keep this secret for the time being. Like, Matt realizes he's dangerously close to just Wilson Fisk opening all-out war on Matt Murdock and his friends, telling everyone that Matt Murdock is Daredevil, telling Heather, telling the whole public, all the goon squad of the cops, and then goon squad. But the reason why Matt takes his bullet is it forces the mayor to say like, well, I can't tell anyone now, because now by saying that, it would exonerate this vigilante and show that vigilantes are heroes.
Yeah, if he says Matt's Daredevil, then everyone's gonna be like, well, Daredevil saved your life.
Just saved your life.
Yeah.
So maybe vigilantes aren't serial killers, Mr. Mayor.
And you got cops doing dirty stuff, putting reporters' hands in deep fryers.
Now, I think there are other ways for Matt to do that. I will say, like, it is crazy to jump in front of a bullet to do that. Especially since Fisk is like your greatest enemy. But especially since it could be a suicidal move. Yeah. You don't know if that bullet's gonna go right between the eyes, man.
I mean, it's close to his heart. It's on his left side, like.
Oh yeah, we have. I think we have that up here.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Why would you? Oh my.
Okay.
God, my boy.
It's like shoulder. But I imagine does this put Daredevil out of commission for the next episode? Like, we know he heals kind of quickly,
Bullseye
but
stabbed him with like 9 knives that stayed in his body while he continued to go through and fight. I think also, there's a difference between adrenaline shooting through your body when you're fighting Bullseye in a bar, going through in an apartment, and this all of a sudden happening. But I do think he can survive this. This is the least. This is the least damage he's ever taken in his life.
But a lot of times he takes time to heal up a little.
100. It's still gonna take time. It has to. Or it's his arm, so he can still walk. He can still use his other hand.
Maybe he'll just be doing some. Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here!
Duquesne or whatever comes in, and he's like, "This is how you fight." With
one
hand behind your back.
Yeah, I mean, Nobu roughed him up pretty bad in season 1. Yeah. Like, he heals really fast. Heather Glenn recovered pretty fast.
That's also true. She still got literally sliced up her arm.
Yeah, I guess we don't know how long it's been since the events.
It needs to be a couple months, right, for that to heal.
I don't know. I mean, she's definitely shocked. She's definitely traumatized from having to kill Muse, right? And I did love her thing of, like, when, Matt's being kind of, like, angry that she's, talking trash about Muse and Daredevil in the same breath. And he's like, well, I mean, Daredevil saved her. She's like, I saved me. Daredevil didn't do anything. I shot Muse.
Yeah, I think it must have been the next day, or at least 2 days later, because he has the newspapers. Unless he's holding on to those newspapers for like several weeks. Right. He's kind of like, hey, I just saw the Examiner and the Bulletin. They're all praising my press conference, claiming that the Goon Squad did this. Like, this was overnight, and she's okay again. Well, not okay.
Maybe a couple of days later. Yeah, she didn't seem like she was bandaged in her dress, right?
Not at the dinner.
The dinner's a couple. Yeah, I don't know. Evan?
Let's hit some questions because there's a lot to get through and a lot that we want to talk about, and we'd love to shout some people out who have been asking those questions. Kyle McKelver sending a $5 super chat on YouTube. Thank you so much, Kyle, saying, Jessica, please comment on how Matt straight crashed out this episode and how Heather ran down on him, the late Muse, and Bullseye snaps Heather.
Yeah. He did crash out.
Also, long time coming. This entire season, I was waiting for him to fully crash out. And to be fair, I'm like, you're crashing out. It's the consequences of his own actions. He's not being open about it. Like, he's crashing out because he's internalizing everything. Karen's gone. No one's there to help him. Sherry wants him to stop. He's like, it just finally came out of him. Now, is he crashing out like, oh my gosh, what was it? It was Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man when it was, what's his name? Oh my God. Coleman Domingo's character.
Oh, Norman Osborn?
Norman Osborn crashed out in the finale of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. It was not like that, but he definitely did crash out.
What does crash out mean?
When you just lose it.
Yeah.
You're just
You're kind of panicking, and
like, it's like a
throwing
panic attack that's
everywhere.
real.
Yeah,
That's
also
outside.
like Zendaya in that episode of Euphoria. She's crashing out when she has the withdrawal and her mom.
Well, that's
flushes her
just
drugs.
withdrawal.
So that's an extreme.
That's a physical crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she runs through traffic and then crashes a quinceanera.
I think it's like if your back's against the wall and you're just like trying anything, right? You're saying stuff on social media. You're making all these excuses.
But it has to be hysterical.
Yeah.
It has to
You're
be-
trying too hard to seem like you're okay.
And that's what Coleman Domingo as Green Goblin was just like, it's your fault, Doctor Strange. And
Yeah,
Doctor Strange's
yeah.
like, I haven't been here this entire
Yeah.
He opens a hole in space, a monster comes through, and it's like, it's this magic guy's fault.
Is this something that only people in TV shows do? Because
Oh no, people crash out
Oh,
in real
I
life.
crash out 24/7, just not on camera.
I don't think I can. I'm not allowed to crash out.
You can crash out whenever you want.
Yeah.
Wait,
It's
I'm a
just-
kid.
Yeah, oh, that's true. Don't do it in front of your baby.
No, if
Also,
Erik-
when you crash out, that's you just going into the bathroom shadow box.
Oh, that's what crashing out is.
Yeah.
When I go to the bathroom and I smash the mirror like Martin Sheen and I listen to the Doors and I smear blood all over my face and
Now
then I
that's
go into the
crashing out.
jungle looking for Martin
Now that's
Brando.
crashing out. That's crashing out.
Got it.
That is crashing
I
out.
the
That
horror,
is
the
crashing out.
horror.
That is run into the jungle.
Yeah.
At some point, my son will have a baseball game and I will crash
Oh, you
out.
will. You will.
Yes.
You will. You will.
I look forward to
absolutely.
that day.
Let's talk about. Let's kind of like move backwards a little bit and start,
Okay.
m- moving through this whole situation. People asking some questions about Bullseye and his, time in solitary confinement there. SP Bat was asking, do you think Matt purposely let Bullseye out? He had to have known that Ben could escape with a tooth, right? Or was Matt's mind really just that clouded in the moment?
I think his mind is clouded, right? Because he's acted weird there, right? When he's like, "Oh, you little baby, oh, you want a little baby boy."
That was why we were talking about that line.
That was
so funny.
That was
that
the
was the
beginning.
moment.
That was the beginning of the
And then
rolling out, the
when he
snowball.
smashes his head on the table, and it's like, "God, this guy's smashing his head on the table." It's like, that, my God. I mean, you were saying like that was very Frank Castle of him, right?
Yeah.
To be like, "Oh, you little baby."
Oh yeah. Well, and that's the thing is like I do think they, even though it's like ridiculous, I think they captured that scene really well because he lost his brother. So it's like, and he's staring. Everyone was like, "Do not go talk to this man. It's not gonna do anything for you."
Right.
And then Bullseye's just like, "Look, what do you care for? Like, what
And
do you care about?"
I think in that moment, right, Bullseye, he's been moved to Gen Pop. He knows this is dangerous for him. He wants to talk to Matt, right? We heard Kristen McDuffie say, like, Dex wants to talk to you, even though she's like, I shouldn't have told you that he's been moved because you're a maniac. Also, give Kristen McDuffie more to do on the show.
Or actually, no. This episode don't. She should have kept that a secret.
She should have kept that a secret.
She shouldn't. And then I know that might not have been good writing, but maybe he finds out, and she'd be like, "I didn't want you to go meet that man. You shouldn't have met that man. It's just gonna make you worse."
Yeah.
And
I
it
think
does.
Dex wanted maybe a legal way out of jail, right? I'll talk to Matt, and I'll see if he can get me out of here because I'm in a bad situation. That's not working. Maybe I'll goad this guy a little bit, and he'll smash my face and loosen my tooth. Though I guess that's something Bullseye could have done at any point. He could have smashed his own face, as Matt was saying, and loosened a tooth.
I don't
I think
think
that
that
was
was
just plan
Bullseye's
B.
plan to loosen the tooth. I
Right.
think that was just kind of a consequence of the meeting with Matt. And then once he hit his face, he's
Yeah,
like, "Hey, I got an idea now."
Hey, nice.
But I think I think the plan was get the counselor in here,
Right.
appeal to his his need for justice.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a fair day, and no one gets just like violently killed. But he didn't know that Matt told Kirsten, "Can we get a front row seat to the Gen Pop guys
Yeah.
killing him?" Like he wants him to get roughed up. I don't think he wants him to die. But also, it's kind of weird. He pushed him off a building.
Right. We had a lot of talks about this in the office. Can we do polls?
Yeah.
Do a poll on YouTube. Do a poll on Twitter.
Okay.
Or Twitch.
I'll do
Does-
it.
Do them everywhere.
Yeah.
Does Dex know that Matt Murdock is Daredevil?
I mean, yeah, Nil, I think, had sent in a super chat saying, "Hello, love you guys watching from Turkey," asking that exact question. Does Dex know that Matt is Daredevil?
Because they have not made it super clear. Okay, season finale of season 3, Dex is in the room when Matt removes his mask, but he is back broken at that point. I don't know if he's paying attention to what's going on. Who knows? There's a lot of intervening years where we don't know what happens. When they fight in episode 1 of this season, right? Matt does take his mask off again, but that's after he's thrown Dex off the building. But there's nothing in this talk they have at the prison, I think, that really shows that Dex never makes a reference to his other half or like the horned gentleman or something like that, right?
I think before they wrote like different episodes, they were like, yeah, we're not gonna have him now.
I think they didn't want to make it clear. Yeah, but
And
I
that's why they
think
did.
I think they just wrote it deceptively because I bet if I were in the room with Dario when they were rewriting this episode, he didn't know either. And I bet if they asked the team from Daredevil season 3, they didn't know either.
No, 100%.
Kevin Feige didn't know. No one fucking knew.
They don't want to make
so
a hard
They wrote
call
it
on
in a way. This is exactly the way you write a scene if you don't want to make it clear either way.
And then in the next season, they can address it if they want. They're like, okay, should we do it now? Should we say definitively that he knows? Because they definitely did not do it in the 3rd season. They were like, oh, well, he is unconscious. Ooh, he might not know. And then this season, just not even addressing it, which is pissing me off. But I'm like, I think your leeway escape was saying that, like, oh, we originally didn't want this to be a pickup of season 3 of Netflix's Daredevil.
Right.
But now that it is, I'm like, now you kind of have to answer.
You kind of have to answer, right?
My assumption coming out of Daredevil season 3 and in this season is that Dex knew. And that's only because I think he knew even before the battle at the presidential hotel because he attacks the church. And like, why would he attack the church if, you know, like, I feel like he's trying to get to Father Lantom. He's trying to hurt Matt and the Devil of Hell's Kitchen in the same blow.
Yeah.
So that explains, I think one way to look at season 3 is that Bullseye is just unhinged and he's just on a killing spree. But it's just so specific that he attacks the church that I'm like, oh, he must know from there. And I think at some point, like the moment Wilson Fisk knows by watching that security footage, I think you have to assume that he told other people.
Right.
It's also like, who's Dex gonna tell? Who's Dex gonna tell? He's just gonna run out and they're gonna be like, oh, are you the guy that keeps shooting people with your teeth?
Also,
then,
MS Pones in the Twitch chat bringing up, he has to know, especially if Vanessa hired him to assassinate Foggy.
Right,
but she doesn't have to say,
That's different. She didn't, she didn't attack Matt. They also, I think.
But like, it's like, oh, but he's friends with Matt Murdock. Just so you know, his friend is like, he's
But
right, and that's my assumption. But
keep going.
That was my assumption too. But there is a way to look at this where, like, maybe in Bullseye's mind there is a vigilante named Daredevil. There's also an antagonistic Nelson Murdock and Page law firm that the
that
mayor
are friends
also
with
hates.
Daredevil, or they associate with Daredevil, but he doesn't know how.
Yep.
I don't know. I like to think that Dex thinks he's the only one that knows. He's like, I'm gonna keep the secret.
I could see Crazy Dex, unfortunately, being like,
and then at one
no
point,
one
Dex
knows
is
that I
gonna
know.
tell everybody, and everyone's gonna be like, "We know Matt is Daredevil." And he's like, you know, everyone knows.
he's gonna be like, give me a gun.
So in a rare instance, both Twitch and YouTube are in agreement with the chat, both ruling 70% on both 80% on Twitch, saying that Bullseye does know Matt is Daredevil. And Phillips sending in some bits saying, I believe he knows because of the beating he got in today's episode.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. Also, they are also saying they believe Buck also knows too, and Vanessa would have told Buck.
I don't know. I mean, someone's got to keep the secret, guys. I do think, it's weird. He must know.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day.
Because I love the moment in, is it Daredevil season 2, when we meet Frank Castle and he's on the stand and he's hearing Matt talk and he realizes that he puts it together. Like the look on John Bernthal's face is great. Like I love those moments when people figure it out. I want to like just to know whether or not Dex knows.
It's a, you know, you're right. It's something that you can write a wonderful scene for of how they figure it out. It's similar to like how many people know that Anakin Skywalker was Darth Vader.
Right.
Like,
yes.
It's really cool. You can see moments where like they write it for Thrawn. Where Thrawn kind of figures out in the books. Then there's like little moments in Rebels where he looks at like the barrel roll maneuver that Vader does and remembers, I think Anakin Skywalker famously did that maneuver and he can kind of figure it out. So I love that moment in Daredevil season 2. I think there was an opportunity here for Dario just to say, you know what, I'm going to write the moment where Bullseye says specifically. Maybe we see that next episode.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Evan?
Daniel Evans had sent in a super chat at the beginning of the stream asking, what do you think Bullseye's association with the color blue is? Was that something that was specified in the previous show? Yeah, that's something I can't remember personally, but I'm not...
No, it's new to this show. It's new to this episode. And I go into it in the breakdown. Jess and I talked about it a bit on the reaction. It's definitely linked with the world turning red for Matt.
Yeah.
You know, Matt sees the world on fire. His color is red. Bullseye's color, he has blue highlights. That's how he's depicted in the comics. So his color arguably is blue. He wears kind of a blue tinted suit. So I think it's his kind of like frozen world tunnel vision is he can only see specific targets now. Like everything is a target now when he sees the world as blue. Like he's often walking around unhinged, but when he sees the world as blue, it's like target, 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 target. It's almost like the T-1000 seeing his red world of like scanning possible kills.
It would be cool if like it wasn't all blue, but it was just like he saw the blue was like a video game. Blue is what you got to shoot to meet your objectives. It kind of makes me think of like, in some ways, like synesthesia, right? Where like some people see music or see numbers as colors, and they're maybe able to make those associations in their brains. I do like the idea that it's like he's a peak human, right? He's not a mutant. Well, we don't know what he is in the 616.
He's got
he's like Hawkeye.
Yeah.
He's peak human. He sees the world a little bit different.
I think he must have some physical ability to project a tooth out of your lips that fast. I will give an out here. I liked this, but an accusation could be made that this is all style, no substance. If we all watch something and just feel like this was cool, but none of us know what it means, I think we could say like, you didn't really do your job. You just did something that is like flashy and stylistic, but it's not like a cold open to Better Call Saul specific great filmmaking. It's just like blue. You just said blue at us. It's like Tobias Funke gives us a big hug, and that's the world we're in now. Like, I still enjoyed it. I appreciate. I will say I did not really love it until the final shot where Matt's world turned red. If you didn't have that final shot, it just would have been blue.
I also liked the callback to the first episode where Matt does his like the format changes, right?
Yeah.
It opens up when it's kind of calling back like when he, the first episode when he was listening to Foggy outside. It just does feel like, I love the kind of the stronger directorial choices they were making in this episode. I think we're lacking in other episodes.
Yeah.
Whether or not there's enough substance there to hold it up, I don't know. I mean, I'm left with so many questions, right? And I feel like they should have been answered, but they weren't. So
You shouldn't have to go to New Rockstars.
But we beg you to.
You shouldn't have to. You should. Like my whole thing is like you can go to New Rockstars and find a greater appreciation that you didn't see. But you should be able to have your own kind of logical take from things.
Yeah.
And blue was not specific enough. I'm sorry, Benson Moorhead. I think you did great work with this episode, but you could have given us a bit more than blue.
I agree with you, Eric, that it definitely seems like it's more just the opposite of Daredevil, right? It's the simplest connection to kind of like put that together. And whether he's an Inhuman or a mutant, I think we can all agree that Bullseye, he's got that dog in him.
He's got that dog in him, dude.
That's the thing he's got inside.
That Wilson Bethel, not only great casting, just an amazing performance.
Yeah.
Fine ass man.
He's
100%.
so good in this role.
Jump on like the Pixar lamp.
like Luxo on that ball, baby.
I sent a bunch of photos from interviews to Brandon. I was like, wait, why is this man fine as hell? I said, hold up, he's crazy on this show. Why is he fine as hell?
So let's talk about the relationship between Vanessa and Kingpin in terms of this situation here. We also got some new subs on Twitch. Thank you, Gracheski and the Dark Cow 96. Thank you so much for the Prime subs. And from Twitch, this question, MS Pones 1979 asking, do you think Vanessa actually told Fisk to put Bullseye in Gen Pop, since we know or we're inferring that she hired him to go after Foggy. Yeah, interesting. Where did that come from? Yeah.
I think that was a separate conversation that happened later, where like once they went through their therapy, once she killed Adam, all secrets are revealed between the couple.
Okay.
And she goes, okay, so I did this thing with Bullseye. I sent him after Foggy Nelson. He's in jail now, and we just need to clean this up. And Fisk is like, well, in season 2, I sent Frank Castle into Gen Pop, and I tried to do this. So I know the guards who opened the gate from one side of the prison to the other.
But there is that moment at the ball when Vanessa and Fisk are dancing, and Vanessa's like, I've got to tell you something. And Matt interrupts it, right? And I think that's when she was going to say, I hired Dex.
Yeah.
You're right,
to kill
Brandon.
Foggy.
You're right, I was
So,
wrong.
I mean, we had, again, more questions, right? Because Dex shows up and he tries to shoot Wilson Fisk first. And if he's mad at Vanessa for setting this whole thing up, why wouldn't he try to shoot her first? And I'm wondering, we don't know if Vanessa and Dex ever talked face to face. And she was like, I want you to kill Foggy. And he was like, you got it, ma'am. Or was it like Dex gets a message that he thinks is from Kingpin, that's like, I want you to kill Foggy. But it was actually Vanessa sending the message. And so that's what she wanted to tell Wilson, was like, hey, I made it seem like you set all these things in motion, and now Dex is free, and he's going to come and try and kill you because he thinks you're behind everything. He knows, Dex knows, we know from the episode, they did put this line of dialogue in, that, Dex knows he was moved into Gen Pop on Fisk's orders, right? That's what the guards say. So he could be mad about that, and that's why he's here to shoot. But I think he thinks Kingpin was behind everything. And that's why he's so angry.
You don't think that Fisk would have, like, it could have been a long game throughout the entire season where he's been trying to, like, he's just been so busy, but he's like, I know that man's going to get out of prison, and he's going to come for me, so I'm going to make sure he's dead right now.
Yeah.
Because it could be,
yes.
I know that...
And he had no idea about Vanessa and all that other stuff.
That could be a surprise. I know it seems like too surprised. We wouldn't have been ever led up to that, but I do think the season has shown things that are like, this came out of nowhere. Right. And this could have been like, oh, he's been trying. He's just been... busy with the billionaires in the city and the garbage and the Michael Gandolfini.
I gotta kiss dogs in jackets.
Yeah,
always kissing dogs in jackets.
And it does say it's a long process to make sure that like all of this is executed nicely within a prison that doesn't look like you can take it back to the guy that's mayor right now. So I could see him being like, no, that motherfucker's gonna get out of that prison like he always does, and it's not on. And usually it's on my terms. I let people out of prison, so I'm gonna make sure he gets killed in there.
Yeah, I think Vanessa would have been the second target. I think Bullseye first was gonna kill Kingpin. Knew that would create a big stir, and I think he thinks I can get to Vanessa in other ways. But he's the mayor. He's only gonna make so many public appearances. This is one time where I know I can kill him. Vanessa, she's not always gonna have, especially after he killed the mayor. Does she still get security detail? He doesn't really know. But we do know, I think, based off of the way this scene was written, based off of the O'Melvenies, the dumb Benny of it all, I know, dumb Benny, baby. It was a very rushed dialogue, but I think what we're meant to take away is that dumb Benny was breaking into some warehouse in the Red Hook area, robbing it. He got arrested, but dumb Benny, while he was doing that, witnessed one of the 5 families doing stuff. And he was going to rat them out as a part of his plea deal. So that's why Foggy was celebrating with the O'Melvenies. He's like, I got a plea deal. He's going to rat someone out. My thing is, I don't know if Foggy would have knowingly agreed to that plea deal if it would have gotten Vanessa Fisk in trouble. I think he must have thought, oh, Victor, Luca, Devlin, some of the 5 families. And I don't think Foggy knew of the connection between the 5 families and Vanessa, because I think Foggy would have known.
Fisk was away.
He
didn't know that
Vanessa Fisk was in the shadows. She was like doing this discreetly.
She was doing art deals.
They would have ratted out her.
Okay.
And I think that's when she was like, I gotta kill this Foggy. Witness. I gotta kill dumb Benny, or I gotta kill Foggy, because Foggy's gonna be relentless. He's gonna keep coming after this. But I can't let anybody at any law firm know that I'm connected to the 5 families, because she had to do this discreetly. She had to clean the money.
Okay.
I think that's what happened.
And I think based off what you guys are saying, that kind of answers this other super chat from Christina Dunham that came earlier in the episode saying, this was an awesome episode this week. Matt's scene with Bullseye was so good. Does Fisk know that Vanessa went after Foggy already, since he made that deal with Matt and he knows what could be at stake? Seems like he probably...
I don't think he knew.
Doesn't know. Wouldn't have known. All right. Also, this question here from Jessica Samantha Craig from the beginning of the episode. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hi, do you think the new showrunners hated the Muse storyline and thought Bullseye would be a better season villain, so they rushed Muse to get back to Bullseye? It's an interesting kind of question here. I mean, I think also the idea of a season villain is maybe something we can talk about as well.
I assume that the Bullseye episode was supposed to become closer to the finale. Like, it was supposed to originally. That's how I thought of it. I was like, I don't think they would have killed, because it did feel weird that they killed him off so soon. I thought maybe they were supposed to extend his life a little bit longer, because then it would have made sense why Heather is so important. But then they were like, yeah, we don't like this guy. So they went back to Bullseye once they got everybody from the original.
Yeah, I wonder if the episode where Muse dies was like the original finale or like the original penultimate episode or something. And then the next episode would have been the fallout from all of that. I don't know. It's tough to say. It does feel like Muse was kind of a B villain this series, right? And not the main villain. But we do know, I mean, from trailer footage, there is a born-again mural that we have not seen yet in the show.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's going to hint that Muse is back, or like there's another Muse out there.
I think at this point, that's from the old version of the
Bastion,
show, and we're not going to see it.
The man known as Bastion is dead. Yeah. He's gone. There's a body in the morgue. And it's not going to like sit up all of a sudden. They got his mask.
I think that is a set photo that was from some other wrinkle in the Muse storyline, and I do not think it's going to show up in the show.
I do think we'll see the mural, but it will be like we won't know who's behind it, right? Because I think we looked at it in the trailer footage, and I didn't see the Muse name at the bottom, so maybe it's just like it's just a regular good old mural.
They could push it to season 2.
Yeah,
if they just want to put a mural at the first episode of season 2.
They put that in a trailer.
Yeah, that was in the trailer. That when we did it, Jessica and I did a great sneak peek, looking at all the images that had not been seen yet from the original trailer, and there was the Born Again mural on a bridge.
We haven't seen it.
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet. We got more questions to get to, and we're happy to do that. But first, we want to thank one of our sponsors today, and that's Miracle Made. Miracle Made sheets are keeping us sleeping at the perfect temperature all night long, every night, as summer begins pretty early here in LA. It's already warming up, folks. Miracle Made sheets are crazy comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands. Miracle Made's fabric was inspired by NASA, so it's thermoregulating, keeping your bed at the perfect temperature all year long. Plus, Miracle Made sheets are infused with silver. That prevents bacterial growth. Bacteria, if you didn't know this, can clog your pores, and that will cause breakouts, acne, and so many other things. So sleeping on Miracle Made sheets is good for your skin. To upgrade your sleep as the weather heats up, go to trymiracle.com/breakroom to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code BREAKROOM at checkout, you'll get a free 3-piece towel set and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you are not 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Let your freak flag fly and upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/breakroom and use the code BREAKROOM to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/breakroom to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring today's video.
You're required to say the phrase, let your freak flag fly.
Which is insane because it's in bold and the biggest font in the teleprompter.
Evan was holding up a physical cue card.
What does that have to do with shit?
That says, let your freak flag
I think
fly.
it's the silver in the sheets that make you a freak.
Hey, I fly my freak flag when I'm freaking in the sheets. You know
are
what I
so
mean?
close to saying something that
That's what
I'm
saying.
nervous.
A lot of ways to go.
No, I'm a pro now. I've never messed up ever. And there's no video to prove that. Evan, do we have some more questions?
Yeah, Stan Goodman had sent a super chat earlier. I think this kind of goes in line with some of our theories, but saying, I can already see Fisk's face grimacing while being forced to give Matt a medal for saving the mayor.
Ooh, and does he pin it right on the hole? Like,
he takes his little apple pin. That's also the thing is, like, he probably jumped in front of that because he's like, oh, if he dies, he looks like a martyr. Like, he looks like a good guy. Not only did he catch the serial killer in New York, but then he died to a crazed man. Right
after he did the best dance ever.
Yeah. Like, it's just going to make him look good.
I think Matt hates his relationship with Heather that much. He's just looking for any bullet to jump in front of.
Dude, I've never empathized with the character more than when Heather was like, you're not even listening to me, are you? And when he was not listening at all.
I was
like, my man, I've been there, dude. I've been there.
No, listen.
He's trying to save the city, okay? He doesn't have time for her BS
but I don't know that. So my blinders are saying my man's not listening. That's crazy. I just threw it back on you in a shower.
No, she should say something more interesting.
Heather,
some topics for discussion. The Roman Empire.
No!
The Minecraft movie.
MTV's
the
challenge.
NCAA championship.
A&W root beer.
Dad's root beer. Hummers.
Just any of her?
Any Hummer.
Maxim magazine covers circa June 2000.
I don't think she knows those. These are hard topics.
Learn them.
I mean, I did love I did love the moment when Vanessa and Matt are dancing, and Vanessa's like, does she know about Daredevil? And like flips his bow tie a little bit.
I loved
it's a great little moment.
Loved her. Yeah. I loved the juxtaposition of them both dancing because Wilson Fisk was very polite with his side dancing. He's kind of a dick. Like, your man's kind of an idiot, just so you know. Shuffling. I was like, this is nice.
We didn't talk about this either, but I do love, like, Heather talking to Vanessa and being like, oh, I can't wait to see you, to keep doing the therapy. And Vanessa's like, nah, we good. I killed Adam, and your man's Daredevil. So
also,
we good.
She does, I will say, as a therapist, she does move on very quickly on things. She was like, do you want to talk about that? And they're like, no. And I'm like, no, let's talk about it. Like, because you guys both answered
Is Heather
very
still
quickly.
seeing clients in her same office?
Probably not anymore.
Never mind that blood stain.
Probably not
There's someone
anymore.
like, is that a new rug? She's like, yeah, that's a new rug. Don't ask about it, okay? Or maybe she left the blood stain because she's proud.
Just send a message like,
Yeah.
things could be so much worse, so
Yeah.
get over your fucking anxiety.
Will Heather ever let
Jackie.
someone bring a duffel bag into the office?
She'll have a bag check, like the bad Johns and the bad Ralphs and the
Yeah,
Valley.
yeah.
You can't bring a bag.
Can't bring
in
your
there.
backpack in.
That was a huge duffel bag he brought
I
in.
know,
I would have
that
been
was-
like, okay, so what you doing with that?
You need one of those guys at the Disney parking structure.
Yeah.
Mickey and Friends.
Yeah, to go
who just
through it.
Gets his little wand and looks through.
I think
Oh,
there
you're
were
good to
many
go.
sessions with Bastian and Heather that we didn't see, and each session he brought progressively a slightly bigger bag.
Oh yeah, he
So
started
she
with
doesn't notice. He starts with like a bowling bag.
It's like the
you
frog
know.
in the boiling pot of
Yeah,
water.
yeah. She doesn't notice by
Or
the
the
end.
journalist hand in the boiling grease.
that poor man. That poor man. He did
Hey,
not
you're gonna
need
be
that.
wiping with the wrong hand for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I mean,
wrong hand to wipe with.
Nah. Well, yes, I think so.
Wipe with either.
If you
in the
don't
most
use your
respectful
dominant
way,
hand,
yeah.
you're not doing as good of a job. You know
Well,
what I mean?
even if it is your dominant, if you're using your left, it's kind of
everyone,
weird.
when you use the next time you use the restroom, use your other hand to wipe and see how that goes. For you.
Actually, sit backwards. Make sure you're resting on the back of the toilet.
Oh, full of butters.
We need a GoFundMe for this journalist to have a bidet.
It's not gonna
No
get rid of
wiping
all of it,
necessary.
but
I did kind of like Wilson shaking down all the billionaires.
ew. Sorry, Erik said swamp ass.
That journalist is gonna be like a Glenn Greenwald working from home for the rest of his life.
That poor journalist. That's great. That's great. And no one witnessed it. Like the people working. Like I understand that it was just Gallo and the goon squad, but like
That journalist should not have used a flash on his phone. What are
Yeah,
you
he
dumb?
messed up.
Is he
Also-
dumb?
Yeah.
That was bad.
it's also not like he can still go out and report what happened. He'd be like, my
Yeah.
fingers are like this because Powell did it. That man right there.
He's at his computer that night. Like,
yeah.
This journalist was walking around this party like, I'm gonna be very discreet. Shit,
Oh god.
brightest flash, and then he goes, I'm gonna slowly walk out the room.
I would be
He
begging for my
deserves-
life out loud. I'd be like, please, I'm so sorry.
He deserves. Hey, did you guys notice that they were using that same fry cooker later in the episode to make more food? I did, and it's gross.
yeah.
Oh.
I was disappointed.
Cross-contamination.
I mean, I was hoping we would see Dex use the fork. That's what I was
We
expecting.
did.
You did.
Well,
Well, we didn't see it.
I thought he was gonna throw the fork at Kingpin or something, and that would have
that
been,
would've
more
been
fun.
more fun.
I thought he was just gonna come in jabbing people, and then I was like, "This makes more sense." It was just to get the one guy, so he
Why
could
does
get the gun.
Dex use the sniper scope? He doesn't need it.
Ooh, that's
He
a
wanted.
good
I think he
point.
just wanted to be extra sure.
do we-
He said, "In
Well,
this
he's still-
opportunity, I got one shot."
And
When
he
he shot
shot in the
Foggy, he
shoulder?
still used like the reticle, right? He still
Oh
used
yeah,
the
didn't he do
scope.
it when he looked at Karen?
He's like, he should do it, and then look at the camera and be like, nobody's perfect.
Don't you think it would have been a cooler character beat if we see him up there about to look through the scope and then he just goes, takes it off?
Yeah.
That would
takes
be
it
cool.
off. Oh.
Like it's in his way.
would've been
He's Bullseye.
That would have been sick.
Or like he uses the scope, but then he closes his eye.
Yeah.
They close anyways. They're like,
Yeah,
He
what?
ties, he does the,
Yeah.
the Karate Kid thing.
Meg510 earlier on Twitch said the biggest thought of this episode, Zemo had some competition on the dance floor.
Oh,
We
man.
need a dance battle between the two when it comes to Secret Wars.
I think-
dance
I-
battle to save the universe.
I think Wilson Fisk did better than Zemo. I was like, oh, this is nice. This is nice. But oh my god,
We didn't get to see the full Zemo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marvel, your next 8-hour video should be a mega mix of all the dancing and all the
Oh my
MCU
God.
projects, right? You can have Zemo, you can have Wilson and Fisk, you can have that whole scene in the Marvels where they're dancing on that planet.
Yeah. I should have loaded up the
You have
clip.
the dance off from Guardians of the
Yeah,
Galaxy.
I
These
should
are
have loaded
free
the clip
ideas.
where Vincent D'Onofrio was doing a Bollywood dance because he had worked with an Indian director, and it was like a thank you like thing. I'll find it. I'll play
Did
it. Brian will
movie
put
or
it in
is
post.
like on social.
No, it's on YouTube.
he
he
uploaded
was
it
like,
to-
"Hey, great job on the movie," and then he just was like dancing.
Benny
Yeah, I'll send it
D,
to you
my
guys.
guy, my man.
Sam Rockwell in Iron Man 2.
Oh
like, up
yeah,
on
oh yeah. He
stage.
does this
Yeah.
little like.
We got like Ned and MJ and Spider-Man Homecoming where Peter looks through the door and some of them are going like
Yeah.
the awkward.
Awkward high
dancing.
school dancing.
I think there's like someone dancing in Iron Man. Is it the first Iron Man where he has the strippers on the plane?
Oh
right.
yes, that is the first time. And the second
they
Iron
win-
Man,
they win the
he's
best
drunk
dancer.
dancing,
Yeah.
and then he pisses in the suit.
We got some questions earlier.
Demon in a bottle. We got a demon in the bottle here. Hey, you want to see me shoot the piano? Shoot the piano, baby. Piano. Hey, Rhodey, you look different in this movie.
Oh, no, not like that.
Not
Not
like
like
that.
that.
Next time, baby. Next time.
Next time, baby.
I'm drunk to the shark.
That's
You know I'm
we should get him on.
Dr. Zoom one day.
Land this bird, Evan.
Yeah.
Land this bird.
We got some questions and some diverging theories about what will happen with Daniel towards the end of the season. Michael Gandolfini's character Daniel. Nick Trinity asking, do you think that Daniel will kill BB? And
Like
inversely,
him try. Fucking idiot. Sorry.
Yeah.
and bumming with Bo saying, I think Fisk is setting up Daniel to be the patsy or fall guy for all the shit that's been happening in the mayor's office.
I can see that. I don't
Yeah.
think he's planning it, but it's going to happen. I think he does look at him too much as like, oh, I see. You're just like me. You're just trying so hard to get through this, and no one's giving you the chance. I'm gonna give you the chance. I think he is trying to help him, but at the end of the day, towards the end of season 2, he's gonna be like, throw it on the kid. Throw it on the kid.
I mean, Daniel keeps being like, I would do anything for you. I will give my life to you. I'll cut off my pinky and I'll put it in a little box and I'll put it on your desk so you can have it forever. I would do anything for you, Mr. Fisk. You're the best guy in the world. I'm so high right now, but I really respect you and I think you're the greatest guy. I'm gonna marry BB. She loves me so much. She's so genuine and she's never lied to me ever in her life.
That was a good one.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Daniel.
I do think
He'll
by
take the
second,
fall, yeah.
But by second season, I do think he's gonna be like,
Yeah.
running his portion of what he's doing, for sure. He is absolutely gonna be like his own king.
I'm worried that he would kill Sheila.
I'm
Yeah,
waiting
me
for
too.
Sheila to die, unfortunately. Sheila and Cherry and Gallo, I've been waiting for all three to
Yeah,
die.
Cherry I'm worried about for sure.
Yeah.
Cherry, I hope.
I think
Cherry-
Krista McDuffie's gonna kill Cherry.
Yeah, Christopher, keep pissing her off.
Yeah.
Keep pissing her off.
She's like, I just want to have one meeting start on time. Can we have one meeting start on
I
time?
cannot have these men on my payroll. They are eating away at our finances.
Can we have a scene where it's just Kirsten McDuffie and Sheila and BB and Heather just all talking and being like, why are they all so messed up?
And then
Like,
Angela comes in and she's like, I can't even get started.
And we call
Don't
that
get me started.
We call that scene women talking.
No, I'm not
No,
gonna.
no, no.
I was about to, and then I decided not
Sad as
to.
hell. Oh my
Sad
goodness.
talk. Yeah.
I think. Well, first off, aren't they best friends, Kristen and Heather? She introduced him
Yeah.
to Daredevil.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, come in the scene and talk to you.
They've
They've never talked to each
Come
other.
talk to your girl. Why is there? You could be third wheel in a lot of things here, and it wouldn't even be third wheel. It'd be you working.
it would be the best scene of the show
Yeah.
if the four of them just all talked.
Then
And just a Sex and the City style scene.
Dario
The four of
said,
them.
"No, we can't have them in the
No.
same room because then they'll figure out an answer to solve everything in the season."
I mean, that conversation would be like, we all know Matt's Daredevil, right? Yeah. We totally know. We're just letting him think he's
Chris is like, yeah.
I mean, Heather definitely knows because that little speech about boys wearing masks. I mean, she's just digging. She is giving him the runway to like be honest with her.
Oh, you
He
think
will not
she's
do it.
egging him on
Yes.
to be like, defend
Yes.
yourself, vigilante,
Yeah.
right in this moment? See, I thought they were just writing her to be like, she's saying these things, and if she knew that her boyfriend was Daredevil,
No, I think
wouldn't
she
go this far
knows.
in this moment.
But she's just like trying to let him admit it.
I don't think she knows because I think she would have just called him out on it at this point. I know that you are Daredevil. Just tell me.
I don't think she is because she's afraid of losing him. And I don't like that they're making her love more important than her job and just her as a woman. But I think she's like just there to prove like, oh, this is his relationship. How far
Yeah.
is he going to go?
Secret.
So they're gonna
secret.
I mean,
Hold it
Vanessa
off
was ready to hook her up with other great men of the city. The ones that have not been kidnapped. Where's Artemis Sledge's husband? Steven Spielberg. He's
Steven
been
Spielberg,
kidnapped.
where are you?
Arthur, are you alive?
You are Steven Spielberg. I
Sign
don't
of life,
care,
Arthur.
dude.
Arthur's directing a film in Poland right now.
I think he's in Adam's cage now
Oh, all right.
Wait, why would he be in Adam's cage?
because it's empty.
Oh, okay.
Someone had to be there.
Oh yeah,
Someone's gotta go in the
someone's got to fill the cage. Someone's got to fill the cage.
I'm
The rent on this.
I'm paying so much for this locked. I'm locked into a 5-year
Do we
lease.
know where it is yet? Do we know?
It's
where
in
it
Red
is?
Hook.
It's in Red Hook.
in Red
Okay.
Hook.
Okay.
I've got to rent control on this cage, and if I give it up, I'll lose it. And we're paying well below market value.
I'm grandfathered in Vanessa. You don't understand.
We've got to put someone in the cage.
We have some questions about, thoughts about the finale and some things
Yes.
and what a season 2 will look like. I just want to hit a few more things before we move on to that, before all those questions. Reek, the producer on YouTube, asking, Jessica, we have to know what's better, Billy Club to the cop's face or the brick to the bad guy's face
Dude, no,
in Friendly Neighborhood?
That brick will always, it's animated, and that brick was too much.
Those were
that
child.
was
And those were children.
And the fact that Jeff Tramiel came on the show and was like, yeah, I don't know what that brick really was. It just someone edited that in.
Yeah.
That caused permanent brain damage. I
Yeah,
think.
the club definitely, because, first off, okay, I'm not trying to be this person.
Okay.
Powell is surviving too many blows to the head.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of knocks.
He's taking a lot of knocks.
He's not a good dude. So
Yeah,
he
no.
deserves it.
I don't want him to survive, but
Right.
I'm like, okay, so fridge, wall, and he's the one that yells, "Hey, what are you doing there?" and gets hit with the Billy Club in episode 7, I think. So I'm like, this man is surviving a lot of brain hits.
Yeah.
So I think what Jessica is saying, just to speak for you right now, is that Powell was suffering CTE, and that's why he shoved the hand in the fry of grease.
I
right?
think he was
He
just-
did nothing wrong. He's not evil. It's because Daredevil made him crazy by hitting him in the head too many times. Jess, I don't agree with that point, but I see where you're coming from.
I think also Wilson Fisk could have just used that as his strategy. Instead of being like, vigilantes are bad, he could have been like, they're giving them brain damage.
Yeah.
He's
Why
hurting
not-
the people.
Why didn't they have Cole North do the deep frying of the hand?
I think
Are
Powell
they trying
wanted
to
do it.
redeem Cole North?
No, oh my God, don't even.
Oh yeah, I want to take back anything I said about redeeming Powell. That guy sucks. I think I said that on a show, and I was like, they might redeem him. No, he's
Like,
dead. He's
it
gone.
feels like they are constantly trying to be like, Cole North is a bad dude who probably definitely killed White Tiger. Will we ever know? I don't know. But he's constantly be given like, not moments of redemption, but they're not like having him do it. Like he was there at the ball. He's the one that sees BB talking to the commissioner, right? Is he the one that sees BB?
Yeah, no,
give-
yeah,
Yeah, because he moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely looks.
But like
over.
he wasn't involved in the deep pan frying. He wasn't back there. When
I
that
still
was
think
happening.
I brought this up before. I still think they're bad people,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't necessarily. They work on their own agendas and their own means. Them working under Fisk is just them doing their job and them getting paid to do it. I think if they could go a different direction and be like hurting the innocent, they're
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, that's what I like doing. This stuff, me watching this, Wilson Fisk, I don't care. I don't really care about this. I'm just doing my job.
Or maybe like Cole's in it to kill vigilantes, but he's like, I like the press. I like the Fourth Estate. Let's not hurt them. Like, I'm just here to kill vigilantes. I didn't want to be deep frying hands of the press.
I don't know, cause I don't think he just cares. He's just like, no, this
just
is,
like-
I'm just here. Because it's also, I'm not trying to be, actually, no, I am trying to be this person. They aren't smart, the anti-vigilante cop
No.
corps. They're not smart people. So they're just watching what's happening and they're like, when do I get to bust heads?
Yeah, they
And
so far
that's
have
what he
caught
likes to
zero
do.
vigilantes as far as we know.
Yeah. We're just assuming that Cole North was the guy to kill Hector. If this show says like, no, that was just some other goon, then yeah, they have redeemed Cole North for the most part because he hasn't done anything that bad yet.
I think, yeah, I guess, and that's like the hard part is like they didn't have to they haven't disclosed what he actually did that got him
Right.
off the force for a little bit.
Well, he said he was overzealous.
Yeah,
in
with the drug
arresting-
dealer to a
yeah.
kid in the park.
But it's an off-screen thing, and it's just in conversation, so it doesn't feel as like impactful,
It seems
right?
like Powell should have been Cole North.
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
Depending on who's watching. I think
guess.
that's really what
Yeah.
it is. Because
Yeah.
if you're watching it as someone that's like, oh, you're not showing me, I'm like, you don't need to show me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
No,
he
he's a
was.
bad
I know what
dude.
overzealous cop means.
Yeah.
I'm not. I know he's
That's
a bad
fair. That's a
guy.
great point.
I think we're just gonna have a lot of questions by the end of the season, and that's okay because
Yeah.
they really did the best that they could, and they did a pretty damn good job. But like, look, there's gonna be a lot of stuff from episodes 2 through 7 that do not make sense with episodes 1, 8, and 9, and that's just the reality of it.
Well-
You're two different teams.
1, 8, and 9.
And I will give the benefit of the doubt too. Like I think all the Marvel series have gone into some of them have had second seasons. Well, I guess only Loki, right? Have had a second season. Most shows are just that one season, and that's all they know they're gonna get. Daredevil always knew it was getting a lot of runway. It originally was gonna be an 18 episode first season, but they got turned into 2 seasons. But they knew they were gonna have 18 episodes. So it's like I think they're fine having open unanswered questions because they're like, we're gonna have a whole nother season to deal with a lot of
that's
this
true.
stuff.
Oh, here's a question: did the creative overhaul was that when they decided to make it 9 and 9, or
Yeah, I think
was
that-
that decision already made before?
I think that
Daria?
decision was made during the switch.
So Muse's death was not going to be a season finale. Muse's death was going to be like a third of the way through this 18 episode
maybe.
run, you know.
Maybe.
So I bet they were going to structure other kind of like scary villains throughout the season, and maybe that's why.
Maybe
they're
was
going to be copycat.
More
Muses.
White Tiger, more other stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say. We may never know. we may never know until the oral history gets written by Vulture. Evan?
All right. Good reference. All right, so 2 quick questions before some. There's lots of other things about the finale and season 2, so I want to make sure we get to them.
Yeah.
Phil sent in some bits on Twitch earlier saying we all know that Bullseye had a new spine after season 3. He didn't get any healing powers or any superpowers, right? How did he survive that fall in episode 1? And can they actually unalive him at this point? Can they actually kill him at this point?
I think you can shoot him to the head and he'd die.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I mean, I think he got
protected.
He got lucky, right?
But that also, yeah, some people can survive those drops. But if that spine did have something to do with like him surviving, I wouldn't be surprised if that makes sense.
Great point.
He also takes like Daredevil. They can take blows. They take blows like crazy.
And this is the Cadmian spine. I mean, this is a world where alien technology and Stark tech has infused itself into medical practice. I mean, Kingpin got shot through the eye. It didn't damage his eye. He had that weird medical device, and now he barely has any scar. I constantly forget that happened because sometimes you see a scar.
I think it's like a vein. I always think it's a vein.
Yeah, so it's like they have advanced medical technology in this world, and so Dex, by both plot armor and the alterations to his body, survived that fall.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that Dario, Justin, and Aaron did not really take into account the post-credit scene and had no plans to kind of like build on that cognium spine and who gave it to him.
I think it just makes him stronger and makes him.
It just made him recover from Wilson breaking his back.
Yeah,
that's it.
That literally he just got his spine and made him walk again.
Walk around again.
Yeah.
And one kind of question that's a little bit outside Daredevil, but I feel it's a good time to ask now. Danielle Evans sending in a super chat saying, will the Thunderbolts movie take place in New York? Do you think it will reference Mayor Fisk and his anti-vigilante platform in any way or keep the story separate?
I hope so. I really think you have to at this point. Like, Mayor Fisk is such a big presence in the city.
Yeah.
There was, I mean, Vincent D'Onofrio, we don't know how true all of this is. Vincent D'Onofrio has kind of indicated that, like, the character of Wilson Fisk can't appear in movies.
Which is crazy.
And that might be a Sony, because is Wilson Fisk considered like a Spider-Man character?
And I also just think Marvel had their restrictions with the TV series and the movies, and they didn't think like, oh crap, Wilson Fisk is like the grounded villain of the.
And part of me thinks that's just Vinny D being trying to hide what's going to happen.
Yeah,
right? I think he wants it to be a surprise.
That is inaccurate. Like, from the legal end of it, it's inaccurate. These deals were never stronger than the early aughts when Sony was making these Spider-Man movies and when Fox was making, the Fantastic Four, Daredevil movies. The Ben Affleck Daredevil movie had Kingpin in it, played by Michael Clark Duncan, and that is when these studios were most fiercely fighting for the rights of these characters. So now that Fox is owned by Disney, and I think you can have Daredevil in a movie, or you can have
you don't think
Kingpin in a movie.
Could make these the rules now because they have such weird restrictions. Like the fact that they're all under different umbrellas is like enough for me to be like, oh, I could see that have been a rule, but it's probably not anymore.
I mean, I would say that if Sony did not put Daredevil in like an MCU Spider-Man movie, like he showed up in a movie there, I think Kingpin can show up in a movie if Daredevil can.
I think we will see Taskmaster will die in Thunderbolts, and it will be Wilson Fisk breaking her over his knee.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna say he puts on the mask.
No.
He's like, I can't.
I mean, I would love a sequence. I would love a scene where like Wilson Fisk is talking to like Val and is like, "Love what you're doing with the tower. I have some projects in Red Hook that could use your help," and she just tells him to F off.
That's the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Also, Wilson Fisk's first comic appearance was in Amazing Spider-Man number 50 in 1967. So I'm sure there's some rights.
Right. Yeah. And Kingpin is better known as a Spider-Man villain throughout many eras of the comics. Like he does have as much of a relationship with Spider-Man as he does with Daredevil, arguably throughout the decades. It's just recently he has been considered part of the Fox. Like, Sony would not have let that character show up in the 2003 Daredevil movie if they could make an argument that he was part of the Spider-Man world.
I do think, Thunderbolts will reference both Spider-Man and Wilson Fisk in like obtuse ways, but we will get like a reference that they exist in the universe.
All right, so let's move on to some questions about the finale and some season 2 stuff. I think there was a lot of questions about this, but just want to highlight in general, Meg510 and Marvel Pirate asking questions about Matt's identity being revealed. Do we think it's revealed next week, or do we think characters like Kirsten and Heather may find out who, or may put 2 and 2 together and reveal to Matt that they know? What do we think? Best guesses?
I think the reveal for Daredevil being are we saying the reveal to the world or the reveal to?
I think just certain characters.
Either or, whatever you think.
I could see him revealing it to Heather. But I do think to the world or to New York or just being outed will take over the entirety of the show, and we will not care about the vigilante task force or anything else. So I think that would happen towards the end of next season.
Yeah. Wilson Fisk does not want the world to know that Matt Murdock is Daredevil now that he has saved his life.
Agreed. Yeah.
But I think it will be revealed next episode that Heather knows. I think she does know at this point. Because especially when she was on recovering and she was like, I think he said my name.
Yeah, it's kind of weird not to go back to that scene. Unless they don't want to go back to that scene.
And I don't know if it'll be as far to be like Heather's known for a long time and like she wanted to get close to Matt because she's writing this book. Like that would make her character very different. If she was like BB Uric-esque and like using Matt in a way.
Yeah,
I don't know.
If Heather doesn't know, or if she doesn't suspect currently, and then she finds out next episode, can we say that that her character was poorly written this season?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I would like
thought
her to
it
have
was
more agency.
kind of poorly written already because she's. I don't really like the trope of like, oh, this character is just there to show the affection to the other character. Like, does that make sense? I will say most Black people are always pigeonholed into this role where it's like, oh, they're only there to be like the partner that shows the love. Invincible did it with Amber. It was just like, oh, she's just shown to show that Invincible has love in his heart. And so I'm like, yeah, when you use a girl for that, I'm like, I don't really, why?
Yeah, I would like her to
Why?
have more agency over the situation, especially since she has now killed a serial killer, right? It's like she's a different person now, I think. And I would like to see her kind of like express that. Kristen McDuffie, I think, is going to, when she finds out, she's going to quit. She's going to be like, screw this.
They given what's his name way too many lines, the little kid, and not enough to my girl, Kristen McDuffie.
I mean, even that guy, like this client that we had in the office this episode.
Madison,
we know nothing about.
Yeah.
We know nothing about that case, and it's just a chance for
he
Matt.
kind of screwed over teachers, I guess.
Yeah.
And it could have been someone who was at the fundraiser gala too, at the very least. Just establish it's like a rich dude, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Right, it could have been Arthur. I guess if Arthur has to be missing, it could have been just any other billionaire. That other guy who Fisk talked to.
Yeah, this could be something that they puzzled weirdly when afterwards. Because
Yeah,
they probably
I don't know.
did explain it at one point and then it was just gone. I do think like second season wise, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be very excited to see like the pieces play without you guys having to do the overhaul that happened halfway through you guys
So at
shooting.
this point, is it all the scenes with Kirsten McDuffie, all the scenes with BB Uric? BB Uric was not part of the original version of the show, right?
Oh, really? I don't
think so.
remember.
I think all the interstitial stuff that they shot, all the stuff in the mayor's office where BB is there, all the stuff with Cherry. I don't think Cherry was part of the original run. Because how
Cherry kind of pops in and out.
he only shows up in the Kirsten McDuffie and Murdock.
And like Josie's.
And then in
right?
Josie's.
Yeah.
And they reshot all those scenes in Josie's part.
I think he walked into the tunnel, but he walked into the tunnel with Angie Kim. Was that him that walked in when
I think she's with another person on the force at that
Was it
point.
not the first time when Angela's recanting what happened and then Angie Kim's walking down and she's like this whole either way.
Yeah.
Maybe he was.
And they rebuilt that set. They reshot a lot of the fight scenes with Muse in episode 6 and 7, right? Because they redid some of the choreography when they brought back Phil Silveria or whatever.
I said wild.
Why? A couple shout outs here. Swatch1116, thank you for subbing with Prime on Twitch. It's saying long time fan, finally can support. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
The new one sending in a super chat earlier saying Matt was acting like Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 3 without the symbiote.
Oh, you gonna cry? You gonna cry, baby?
Yeah. Devian Sharma, thank you for sending.
You gonna cry?
Devon Sharma, thank you for sending in a super chat. James on YouTube sending a super chat as well, saying, does Matt have it rougher this season or season 3 of Daredevil in your opinion?
Oh, season 3.
Season 3.
Not only was that man breaking into churches looking for him, you're like, I can't. He took my suit. Everyone thinks I'm the monster.
Yeah. I mean,
And then he drove that body of Julie in the passenger seat into the wedding. You're like, oh, great. Now I got to go in there with my tight black shirt on and go fight him.
I mean, do you think Matt, we haven't really seen this, but do you think Matt thinks about like the 60 people that Muse killed and is like, I should have been on this sooner?
No,
he doesn't seem to have even addressed that.
No, he only cared about Angela.
I mean,
60 people could die and he wouldn't shed a tear.
yeah.
Oh?
Boom.
Sunday fun day with a couple.
With my pink hog girls, my hog bitches.
Slop. Here comes the trough.
It's wet mud.
Oh God, incredible.
I think you should leave. We're not just talking out of our...
We're not just
yeah,
crazy.
Nell, I think on YouTube had asked earlier. Do you guys think Hector's murder will be resolved in the finale?
Well, define result.
Yeah.
I guess
Reveal
we find out
who shot?
I
hope
think
so.
I think
hope
so.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think we're gonna get justice.
No.
I don't think the justice is done. Everything that had to do with Hector is now done and thrown away, except for that necklace. Which, Angela, put that
I hope
shit
they bring
on.
her back for season 2.
Yeah, I think she'll be like BB, where she's like, I'm getting involved now because no one avenged my uncle, which is true. No one she's gonna be like, I don't care if you even if they find the guy that killed Hector Ayala, it still doesn't matter. Like he still died. He still died, and she's gonna be like, no, he died for what? Doing what was right? Like, no, I gotta still stand up. So
it'll be Matt giving a monologue where he's like, there will always be people fighting for justice, and it'll be a montage of everybody like suiting up, all these like random characters we've seen, and Angela putting on the thing.
Angela puts on her mask and then just goes
her little volleyball
Yeah.
and then someone just goes
no,
Oh no!
with the water gun.
it goes bang.
With a water gun.
Or she has like the full necklace, right? So now she gets shot in the head, and it goes bang, and it bounces off, hits the guy in the head, and we're like, oh, she's indestructible
goes,
now. Yeah, she's now just fully a tiger at this point.
Yeah. I like that idea.
H Basso 13 asking, do you think the Red Hook project goes into season 2? This redevelopment of Red Hook and this interesting kind of plot line here.
So it seems
Blown
like a
up.
big thing. He's got his own little land.
He's got money from the rich people that he's extorting. Right?
Has anyone brought up Luca again? The fact that Luca's
The
dead?
Pixar movie?
Who's dead?
Oh.
I mean,
Luca?
Oh, no.
I don't like those Italian boys.
I love them.
I think
Great.
Let them be in love.
it'll be interesting to see.
Let them be in love.
Boys.
What was it? They were making love. They were dancing.
Young little men.
Yeah, and they're figuring it out with each other.
I think they were.
They definitely were. But no, because it's like the Red Hook thing was also a part because the whole killing each other was at Red Hook, right? Mm-hmm. And then Luca's just now gone, and no one's gonna bring it up.
They'll bring the crime family stuff into the next season.
Oh, into the next
and
season.
hopefully, like, kind of flesh it out a little better. We'll get
I'm like,
more understanding.
Wouldn't you want to go find out what happened to your man, your leader, your guy?
Yeah, I don't know.
I would.
I would. Yeah, I'm loyal to my faction.
Because I imagine it makes a power vacuum for that family, and
Yeah, that's
someone
also
will
yeah.
step in.
They lose everything. This is also me going off of like the logic of the Penguin, where I was
Right,
like,
right.
when one went, they all went. So
yeah,
you guys all got to gang together now and figure out who killed your man.
Yeah, because it might be the family's kind of uniting to go against Fisk in an interesting way.
Oh my god, that'd be so much annoyance for him in the second season if he's still mayor and they're just like, yeah, well, we're gonna kill everybody in the city.
Yeah.
Do you think Kamala Khan and Kate Bishop show up next week?
No,
Lucky the Pizza Dog?
I think she's in California still. Because this hasn't, how many months has it been in this season since the bank robbery? Because that was in.
It's been like about a
St.
month or two.
Patrick's.
That was
Yeah,
St.
yeah.
Patrick's Day. We're in April.
I would love that, like, a post-credit scene is Matt going to dinner at the Khan's house, right?
Oh, that'd be
and he sits down and, like, maybe winks at Kamala, or not winks.
Why would you say that?
Goes like this or something like that, like, indicates that he knows that she's nightlight.
I think her whole family knows that she's.
They all know.
No, that Matt knows that she is.
But her
Marvel.
dad was straight up like, Ms. Marvel, my daughter.
No, he didn't say Miss Marvel was his daughter.
He showed her the bobblehead and said, "This is my daughter."
No, he said we have a hero
We
in
have a
Jersey.
Oh, we have a hero in Jersey.
Also, here's my daughter.
But I think,
Move them apart.
yeah, Matt is not dumb, and he's like, well, I get it.
He is
I guess-
dumb.
But Heather would be like, who's Miss Marvel? No,
Us,
she knows.
for us, the audience would be like, "This isn't that revealing." If
No,
he's
I
like,
think what Matt's gonna do is he's gonna feel the frame and be like, "Hold on," and he's gonna feel the bobblehead
Put that
and be
mask
like,
on.
"Oh my God, they're the same."
He feels
Put that mask on.
He
Put
feels
that
the
mask on.
Funko, and then he feels Kamala Khan's face. He's like, I got it. I
"Wait
figured
a
it out.
minute,
Oh no.
you're Kate Bishop." Wait a goddamn minute. You're Kate Bishop. No, close.
Oh,
I think the
God.
post-credit scene will be on one side of a street vendor, a flirkin, Goose, and then the other side, Lucky the Pizza Dog. In the middle, Pizza Papa. Pizza Papa's just like, hey, stop eating that. And then the animal eats it. He goes, hey, stop eating that. And Lucky, and it's going to just be that for 8 minutes.
I think you stole the plot of Oliver and Company.
Why should I worry?
Why should I care?
I mean, lots of people were asking about cameos, of course, like Rian Saha, Ty Davis. Thank you for the super chat saying, do we see any other vigilantes in the last episode? I mean, now that Matt is shot, anyone coming to his aid?
I mean, I
here?
think Frank Castle's coming back.
Punisher's got to
Punisher's
come
gonna
back
come
now.
back. But I feel like we will see Kamala Khan in the finale as like a post-credit thing.
Oh,
I
yeah,
would love
that's
that.
fun.
I would
Or
love
at least the dinner. It's just a recreation of the Avengers
She-Hulk
post-credit
one?
scene.
Oh.
Yeah, or She-Hulk. Or
Is
I was like,
Scar there?
Yes. Actually, that's my post-credit scene, is that Scar is there with his hairline all the way back here.
They could bring Scar because Matt wouldn't know that he's green, right? He would just hear a voice and think it's just a dude.
He's like,
there.
you're dating my aunt. He's like, aren't you supposed to be with
I
my
think
aunt?
Matt
right
can
now?
hear color.
Oh my god.
Matt can hear everything.
Interesting.
That's
He
crazy.
can hear like the light reflecting the color green into other people's rods and cones. He can hear other people's rods and cones forming the color green in their
that
optic
makes
nerves.
He's
that good.
You sound
He knows
green.
the sound of that. Yeah. I guess this question here too from Shauna P and Bumming with Bo. I think Shauna was on YouTube, Bumming with Bo on Twitch. But they're asking, does Wilson Fisk know Kate Bishop is Hawkeye, or that she
She doesn't wear
engages
a
in
mask.
vigilante activity?
She doesn't wear a mask, and he worked with Eleanor, and also remember he like beat the crap out of Kate Bishop at the end.
Yeah,
of
they were in
Hawkeye.
that fight sequence
Oh,
at
Dust.
the
Yeah.
toy store.
And she doesn't wear a mask, so I think he's like, you're the woman I worked with's daughter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
And Kate Bishop's mom was arrested at the end of
Eleanor's
Yes.
Eleanor's rotting away in a cell somewhere.
Do you think
She's in the cage.
She's in Gen Pop.
Oh no.
That's what I wait for. Like Dex is back in prison. They put him in a cell, and it's Eleanor's cell, right?
Well, Eleanor's going there
jacked.
first.
She's shacked.
Yeah.
She's curling up.
She's been doing the Cape Fear pull-ups, right?
Oh my god. Cape Fear.
It says "Kill Fisk" on her knuckles.
I think Fisk knows everything that happened in the Battle of 30 Rockefeller Center. That's how,
Oh,
that's
sure,
how
yeah.
he knew that Jack is swordsman.
Yeah,
'Cause he was
100.
there like, I've been having the time of my life.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
He said, "You're wearing a scarf over your face. It's not hard for me to deduce who the one swordsman
Yeah,
is."
let's get swordsman a better
Got a
costume.
little loose when you took a sip from your mocha frappuccino.
He's going, ooh.
I got a mocha frappuccino for swordsman. Swordsman. For Tim Duquesne. Is there a Tim Duquesne?
That lie, Evan lost it at that, like the video footage of him.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's just
It's so
funny.
also to hire the man. Well, that's not even him, right? That's just anybody, right?
No, that was
it's
Swordsman.
covered mask. No, but like the actor.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was yeah.
I mean, I like to think that swordsman does have an outfit, but in that instance, he wasn't planning to be swordsman.
No, he wasn't.
He was just out with his scarf. He was like, well, I guess I gotta do it.
Yeah.
100. It was just picking
Because he
up.
probably keeps the sword in his cane or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
he was like, I have to stop this
He is
kid
Jack
from being bullied.
Duquesne, after all.
Jack Duquesne.
Kane.
I wanted to shout out Stoke Novka, who sent in a super chat that we'll hit later on after the episode in the live wrap-up portion. Arthur Dennison up a super chat as well, saying, like Eric Voss said, "I'll burn for you" could be true after Fisk doing the gun dance and getting shot. I'm a little confused by that comment.
I'll
but
burn for you.
That's what Daniel says. He goes, "I will burn for
oh,
you."
yeah.
Do you think he's gonna burn? Do we think like
Physically?
when the incursion comes in,
Oh.
just a solar flare will wipe out him, and he'll be like, ah!
Mr. Fisk is another planet on top of our planet. It's coming down from the sky. What do I tweet? What do I tweet, Mr. Fisk? Also, how many? He's the deputy mayor of communications?
Yes.
How many deputy mayors are there?
That
I don't
is-
understand the
that is
New
a
York.
real position. I looked it
Right,
up. There's
yeah.
a guy who's like, I just put on LinkedIn that I'm Eric Adams, deputy mayor of communication. I'm like, would you put that on your LinkedIn? I'd just be like, I'm doing this job until this guy's gone.
I mean, Sheila's pissed, dude. Sheila's pissed.
Sheila should
Yeah,
know.
because this is an intern.
She's been working for the city for a long time. She's been through a lot of mayors, and this is annoying for her.
I would have, yeah, that girl, that poor woman. I'm like, is this even your dream anymore? Like,
Yeah.
just get out. Like,
Jessica said he's just gonna get in fights with Wendy's on Twitter.
yeah, because what is he gonna do? What else is he gonna do?
Yeah.
Post weird like edit thirst traps of Wilson Fisk as mayor. Oh God.
He's gonna be doing
such a
posts at like
bastard.
3 a.m. high as hell, just like
Yeah.
Yeah. Phillips had sent in some bits saying the tooth was a reference to Bullseye greatest hit 2004 number 5 comic, where he had done that as well in the comics. The winner recruit sending a super chat here. Daniel's going to go the way of Vic from the Penguin. I think something that's come up on the show before. I kind of want to end on this.
Oh, I will be so mad. It took me a minute to understand that. The Penguin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Give me a hug, Daniel.
God.
Daniel.
I know we're running.
Did you ever mix all the icy flavors together, Daniel? They call it suicide.
Oh my, shut the hell up.
Do you want to commit suicide, Daniel?
Evan.
I know we're running a little long. I want to end on this comment here from Ashley61202. This came in the beginning of the show saying, Heather and Cherry stay annoying for me. The return of Bullseye and better writing for characters like Vanessa really shows that even these guys can't make the new characters work. Except BB, I can see her storyline going somewhere interesting. And I want to like Kirsten, but the whole thing of Matt being a bad law partner is too much of a foggy season 2 rehash. Yeah. So, I think we've had kind of mixed reactions about this show as we've been watching. I think generally the large audience seems to love it. Obviously, there are people expressing some different opinions in the chat here too. What would need to happen in the finale to feel like this really stuck the landing with what we were given?
I mean, I would love a twist that we didn't see coming in some way. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what that would be. I don't see it coming, right? But something that kind of feels like there was more going on than we were aware of, if that makes sense.
I get it. I think they're doing. I think that they, with the 8th episode, they did a good job of answering a lot of things that I was questioning for the last 4 episodes, which is insane to me that it took 8 episodes to get there. So that's why I'm I think in the finale, I just need you to keep answering those questions. I know that it kind of sucks to be episode 1, I got it. And then I was I'm kind of just dancing with y'all. And then episode 8, I went, oh, we're going back. Okay. So I think just stay where you are right now with episode 8 and bring that energy into the finale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I need. That's
I do love, episode 8, 1 and 8, they feel a little different, right? They have some more style to them. They're trying some stuff with cameras and the editing and the music and stuff. And it does feel different than a lot of the other, Disney Plus Marvel series that we've gotten, which can kind of feel very samey a lot of the time. This has it's trying to do something else. Besides, they're dropping F-bombs and it's super violent.
I love that.
Which is I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's different, right? Give me something different.
Yeah.
I would love for this final episode to kind of reveal either more of Fisk's plan or more of Vanessa's plan or something of what's been going on.
I wanted to add to my part with that part of being a show for me does better when everyone is doing this in the same room, not in the same room necessarily, but when you separate characters, I will say completely different show. But Umbrella Academy, when you separated all of them, it didn't make the story good. They all were going doing different things. I didn't know who I was supposed to be paying attention to, and I think if Daredevil season 8 or episode 8 has done a really good job of being here's how every story interlines again, and I go thank you. Bring it into the 9th episode. Yeah. Keep them all together. I need to if anything, bring Vanessa and Fisk closer. Bring Heather into the group more. God, please just bring Kristen McDuffie in. I know. I feel like that law part was what the show was originally supposed to be more about. Was just here's the dramatics of law, and that's where Kristen McDuffie came in. But now I'm I don't really care about the courtroom scenes. I just want to see you guys fight.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's already sticking the landing. I really, really liked episode 8. It is not going to be a perfect answer to everything we've seen across this season. There is just too messy of a production process. But I think it really did stick the landing and delivered on the promises that were established in the reshot version of the pilot. And I feel like episode 9 will also further deliver that punch and stick that landing. So I don't really need that much more from this show. Just I'm curious to see the fallout after this assassination attempt. I'm curious to see how the status quo shifts. I think all I really need, I'm going to end this season with just some, well, why did they do that with Muse? Why did they do that with Heather and Kirsten McDuffie and all that stuff? I'm gonna have some unanswered questions. I just know that. So, but if they can show how Mayor Fisk moves on from this, and I'm a little tired of just seeing him pretend to be a good mayor. If I want him to own publicly being a bastard, because I think that's what's fun about Kingpin is he's I don't care if you like me or hate me. I'm in power. I'm in charge now. And I think I want to see that from Mayor Fisk.
That would be interesting, right? It's this final episode is he uses this assassination attempt to really turn up the heat and be no, I'm no more Mr. Nice Mayor, right?
Yeah.
Like, anti-vigilante task force is now all of the cops, and like I'm locking the city down, and like things are gonna get real around here. And it's like a dark moment, and like Matt has to decide, like, I'm done being Matt. I'm gonna be Daredevil all the time now. Hit the bricks, Heather. Get out of my apartment. You brought Buck over. Buck knows where I live. You know, like that kind of stuff. Like, I want to see him like throw it all away and go all in on Daredevil, because so many of each season is Matt not being Daredevil. Like, let him just.
But now he is kind of.
I know, but like, we missed the best part, right? We missed Dark Daredevil when he was in his dark period and being basically like, it's like Endgame with Ronin. Like, we didn't get to see the fun stuff. Like, show me the fun stuff.
Show me the fun stuff.
The devil's back.
Gimme.
Well, as we do on the after show each episode, we like to highlight a character we thought really won the episode and one that deserves to get thrown off the building. So, who in this episode do you give the mural to, and who do you toss off the top of the building like Bullseye landing like a sack of wet meat?
I don't think they necessarily deserve the mural, but I just kind of like the game, and I'm giving it to Vanessa.
Ooh, that's what I was thinking.
I like the game. I like the game that they're playing, and I'm like, yeah. Be a fucking person. Go off, girl. Go crazy. You've been lying this entire time. Try to confront your husband with the truth. I think she's very fun during the dance too, and her outfit was perfect.
Right.
So
killing Adam, just being like, yeah, I don't need this.
Also,
guy
yeah,
anymore.
just whipping that gun. I was like, we don't really see. She's always hiring people to like do her dirty business with. Was it Ray Nadeem in the Netflix season? So I'm like, yeah. You do it.
Yeah, give her the mural.
You do it. You had that gun in your purse. Use it. Throwing off a building. All those guards that didn't think about Bullseye.
They put him in the medical place.
You know what? Yeah, no, the doctor. The doctor that left him there and said, you know what? This man that's really good with his hands, even though he used his tooth, I'm going to be like, nah, y'all were playing. Y'all thought it was fun. You guys thought it was a game, and it was not a game. You let out the real devil on New York.
For me, the mural goes to Gallo, Commissioner Gallo. He stuck up for a journalist against a cop who would do the same to him in that moment. Not like the most heroic character, but that was a brave move to do that. So Gallo, you get my respect. You get the mural. Thrown off the building is specifically the cop on the bus who said, "Hey, rough day."
He didn't know.
Rough
Hey, I've never seen you before. Rough day, huh?
If you saw Wilson Bethel sitting next to you on a bus, you'd be like, wow, this is a handsome and Ted Bundy-esque serial killer looking man who just like, if you ever see an actor in real life, they're weirdly face mushed, handsome. They just look weird to you. You'd be like, you'd give him a second look. You would not just look him as an everyday prison guard.
But I do think there are pretty actors that look like normal men that would just come out of bar at 9 p.m. and I go, okay, yeah, that's a regular.
But this is like a real end of White Lotus situation with people leaving the island waving and being happy after an insane incident just happened. Like, they're letting the guards leave the prison and not double checking everybody. Has no one noticed what happened in the medical room yet? I don't know the timeline, right?
The whole place would be under lock.
And also, he was a guy that you kept in like a literal lock and key. So you guys should all have photos of the 5 men that you keep in the highest ranks.
You check on Bullseye every hour, okay? At least every hour.
Insane.
Come on.
Insane. But I mean, hey, look, I get it. He's also just like another white guy. So if he just got on that bus, I'd be like, and that's the thing. They kind of got away with it, being like, these guards are constantly getting beat up. Yeah. I would have been like, this guy is like he's got sewn on his face fresh. Yeah. You got something? That guy,
Rough day, huh?
All those guys get thrown off that butt.
I agree. Give the mural to Vanessa. Great episode. Maybe Vanessa and Heather both get the mural this episode.
I ain't giving
just
for
those moms.
No, Heather doesn't get shit.
I like her. She's being mean to Matt, and I appreciate that.
Give Heather a better boyfriend.
Yeah,
because Matt is not a
give
good
her
boyfriend.
Buck. I bet Buck would be a good boyfriend.
No.
Cashman?
Yeah.
No.
A good boyfriend doesn't own a gun.
No.
Sorry.
No. Give her that guy that.
I think she's been only with bad guys because I'm like, Daredevil might not have a gun. He's got a lot of other shit.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not saying that all gun owners are bad.
He did, and I'm putting his words back in his mouth.
The history this guy has using his gun does not make him a good boyfriend.
And once again, I'll throw Pal off the building because screw that guy.
That
man.
guy's
That's
into
awful.
a vat of
Into
grease.
a vat of boiling grease.
Yeah.
Evan?
Yeah, as we go out, why don't we, sign off while Vincent D'Onofrio dances to some Bollywood, huh? Let's watch it together.
This is the man. This is my man.
And it better be a jig.
Oh, he's got a hat.
Oh my god,
Oh.
I'm so attracted to him.
Oh
This
my
is a
gosh,
problem.
Jessica, calm
This is
down.
a problem. Turn it off. Turn off.
Was Hench's character maybe? Ooh, okay. Let's see the zoom out. I want to see what his full body's doing. Oh, okay.
What's that like
moving.
20-hour video of that cowboy in the sky yelling? That's what he looks like. Yeah, that's what it looks like. This is perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Oh,
who's that?
we'll never know.
Wait, no, go back, play it.
Well, that's it for us today.
Hands.
Make sure to subscribe to the Breakroom channel right here on YouTube and give us a follow on Twitch where we do videos like this live. You can follow Breakroom and NR on Instagram, Blue Sky Threads, and X. We call it Twitter. We'll catch you next time. Late skaters.
Wakanda forever.
Goodbye.